Hi, Jewish Mom. So I wanted to tell you the story of a really crazy Shabbat that I just had. So first of all, a few months ago, then my husband, I told you he runs a program for 18-year-old girls. So a few months ago, then we found out that we were going to be traveling this Shabbat to Kibbutz Levi, which is a really beautiful kibbutz in the north of Israel. And so I was really looking forward to that, had it on my calendar for months. And then a few weeks ago, I found out that my daughter's youth group, it was having their Shabbat Irgun this Shabbat. Shabbat Irgun is the most important Shabbat of the year. It's like them it's how they kick off the year. And so for like a month before that, a month before Shabbat Irgun, then like my daughters aren't home so much, like they're like at their bunkhouse and getting things ready and painting the walls and practicing their dance, practicing a dance for like the final Shabbat performance, and getting a performance ready. And mamash, it's like amazing over the course of a month. And like they make like a big mural, and they choreograph and perform their own dance, and they do an actual full length musical. And so it means that they're not home so much, whatever. It's a huge thing, and it's a huge thing for the mother to be there, to be there for Shabbat Irgun, and to be after Shabbat, to be on Saturday night at the final performance of Shabbat Irgun. So all of a sudden I found out that Shabbat Irgun is this year the same. It was going to be right after our trip to Kibbutz Levi. So it put me like in a hard place. Okay, first of all, I really wanted to go to Kibbutz Levi. One of my goals for this year is to do more fun things, is to go places and have more fun experiences with my children and with my husband. Aside from just like, hanging out in the house, hanging out around the house with my kids, and reading the books or going to the playground, or actually like doing special things. That's like a goal for this year, like taking them to the zoo or taking them to the hotel, and this is gonna be like a big outing, with my husband and my kids, going to Kibbutz Levi, and it's so beautiful there, and going to see the cows and the horses in the animal area. And so it was something that I really, really wanted to do. On the other hand, being here for Shabbat Irgun is important, because I want to be here right after Shabbat, because first of all, my daughter Mayan had the lead in the musical. They performed their own kind of Jewish version of Sound of Music, and Mayan was going to be Maria. And another daughter, Hallel, she's now a youth group counselor, and she worked really, really hard getting her group ready. So it was important that I was going to be there right after Shabbat to see her. And now another daughter, Moria, has joined the youth group. Now those daughters go to the youth group in Nachlod. Moria goes to the youth group here in Kiryat Moshe, called Gabash, so it's like I had to be three places at once. I had to be supporting Moria in her new youth group, supporting Hallel, that she's a new counselor, supporting Mayan, who has the lead in the play, who had the lead in the musical, and also being there with my husband and my other children who were going to be going to Kibbutz Levi, and they had to go. There was no way to reschedule that. So I just want to talk about like just what happened. So what happened was we went to Kibbutz Levi and we had an amazing time. My kids were here. All those three girls, I set them up at families for Shabbat. And I was planning to get here right after Shabbat. It was supposed to be an hour-and-a-half trip on sort of the fast number 6 road. And I was supposed to be back, I was supposed to be back pretty much on time to get to the performance. At least to the performance, and possibly before that to the other parts of the evening at the youth group. And I was hoping to send my older daughter, Hadass, to watch Moria in her dance performance in her new bunkhouse in the neighborhood. But what happened was there was a major traffic jam. And it took me twice as long to get home as planned. Instead of an hour and a half, it took me 3 hours. I didn't actually get there. The event started at 7:15, which is really in Israel 7:30ish, even later. I didn't get there until 9:30. So basically, when I got there, they were finishing the performance. So I got to see, Mayan doing part of the performance, and I got to see her. I got to see Hallel dancing in the final dance, which the counselors do, but I just wanted to like share with you that this is something that this is something that not in the so distant past would have eaten me up. I would have felt so guilty and so bad and so anxious. But what happened was I got there and it was late and I just really, really did not feel guilty. I felt like I had done my best, and it was important for me to go to Kibbutz Levi, and really I had a very lovely time there with my husband and with my children, more or less. Um, and um, uh, and I really had done my best to get back at a reasonable time for the performance, and I had arranged for for Hadass, my oldest daughter, to go and be supportive of Moria at her bunkhouse and then in our new neighborhood. I really had done my best, and really I had lived in accordance with my priorities. And really I had tried. It hadn't really worked out, but I had really tried to live in accordance with my priorities, and not everything had worked out perfectly. And then, not to mention that I got home, and things were like my whatever, like things had been left a mess because I had been in a rush getting out on Friday. And my girls had been in a rush getting out on Friday to the filming that they had to go to, and so whatever. But like I just felt like I had lived in accordance with my priorities, and it was okay. And I got there. I got to performance. My daughter's the lead. She's Maria in The Sound of Music, or the Jewishy version. They called her Miriam. And I walk in at 9:30, right before the end, and all the mothers from the youth group look up. Your daughter's the lead in the thing, and you're getting there right before the performance ends. And I actually felt okay. I had done my best, and I had lived in accordance with my real priorities. Doing my best to like keep everything when I had so many people on me, so many people needing so many different things, and I had lived in accordance with my priorities, and I really didn't. I really was okay. I felt really fine. And This past week, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who is a principal of a school. She's a principal, and also she's a mother of a bunch of little kids. And so I just asked her. I said, like, how do you do that? How do you do that? How can you be a principal and also the mother of a bunch of little kids? How do you do it? Um, and she said, I do it. She said, I decided. She said, I just live bli matzpunim, no guilt. She said this. She said just the other day. She said I was working and working and working. I had so much work to do, you know, and I it was 2:30, and I just realized it was my day off, and I just realized until 2:30 I had just been doing so much. I had so much left to do. I decided no, ad kan, no more. I'm not doing any more work. It's true. This one needs me, and this one needs this, and this program this, and and this. I need to call this person back. No more. Bli matzpunim. I did that like she sees it as a shlichut, raising the next, educating the next generation of Jewish girls, and she's done it. And now, from then on, she said then I said, okay, now I'm going to be with my kids. And she said on the other hand, she said the other day, she said I had to rush out to work, and the floor was dirty and sticky, and I just said, okay, now I'm going to school. I'm leaving it. It's not going to be perfect. I have a lot on me. I'm a mother of a bunch of little kids. I'm also a principal. It's not going to be perfect. And she said, I left the dirty floor, bli matzpunim, no guilt. Because she's living in accordance with the priorities, and it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. There's going to be like ends, and there's going to be like we're juggling. I think I said like a few weeks ago, we're juggling as Jewish mothers. We're juggling like hundreds of balls. We are. And our job is to try and make sure that none of the really important balls fall, right? Our health, our children's health and safety, and marriage, and our relationship with our children, et cetera, and our, avodat Hashem. But otherwise, there are going to be balls that fall. There's always going to be balls that fall. But the most important thing is like to think, what are your priorities? What are your priorities? For this principle, of course, it's being a principal, raising the next generation of Jewish children, of Jewish girls, and also being a dedicated mother, and being a good mother, and being a good and like keeping a house where she and her husband and her kids can thrive. So in conclusion, I just want to bless you Jewish moms. that like all of us, it's always going to happen. It's going to happen that we are going to have things that we have to do. I read something interesting. It was by what's her name, Basi Gruen. She's the editor-in-chief of Family First magazine, and she was saying that that one of the biggest challenges that we face is not when we have to like figure out what is a priority versus a not priority. Like you have to make the decision between doing a mitzvah or making or doing something or like sitting down and eating a plate of cookies, right? It's like the challenge isn't there. The challenge is when you have a priority versus a priority. Like I had this past Shabbat. Priority versus a priority, and what do you do? What do you do? And I think it's so important, like in our lives, we just have so many priorities, and sometimes priorities will come into conflict. And what do you do? I just think it's so important that we manage to do it. We do our best, and a bunch of balls are going to fall. We're juggling a lot of balls that are going to fall, but to do it bli matzpunim, without guilt. And bless all of you Jeshurans with an amazing, amazing week.